Hey there, Tien here, and welcome to another episode of the Real Talk with Tien podcast. In this episode, I'm sharing a snippet from a recent Instagram Live that I created based on a guide and free video training that I have out that you can grab right now. In this quick Instagram Live, I share so much information that you can walk away right now and start to change your business. If you have any questions, please check the show notes. I'll have links to everything I talk about so you can get a copy of your guide and the free video training. I cannot wait to see all that you do. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will be sure to answer on another Instagram Live. Bye for now. I wanted to pop on here real quick. We're going to be talking about marketing. You've seen my new guide and video training, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit more in detail. And if you have questions, just go ahead and pop them in. I'll try to get to as many as I can. But I wanted to just talk about some of those 6 mistakes that designers are making. We, as designers, fiber artists, there is so much room for all of us. All of us can find our little place and do so much that we don't need to push people down, and we don't need to take up a lot of space away from other folks to make ourselves feel good about ourselves. So that's why I created that workbook, that guide, that video training around marketing specifically for designers, because I know a lot of us, we love doing this work. We love playing with yarn. We love coming up with new ideas. It's exciting. But then we do all that work and we don't see a return on our investment. We put in the testing, we put in the tech editing, we put in the pattern writing, we put in the photography, all that work, and yet we don't see the result. So what can we do? And while I won't go into all 6 of the mistakes, let's talk about one of them. And one of them is our price, right? Simply changing your price, simply increasing your price can increase your bottom line, your revenue, right? Simply changing a pattern that was free to paid. That is so significant that, a lot of us, when we start out, we have so many patterns out there, but because we don't have the confidence, we don't believe in ourselves, we put out these patterns for free to the world, which is great. But we also put a lot of work into our work and we don't get paid. It can be very overwhelming, frustrating. And we see a lot of designers who pop into the industry, they're excited, and then they pop out because they're not seeing the return on their investment. They're not seeing the amount of result for the amount of work they're actually putting in. So if I'm paying for tech editing, I'm paying for photography, I'm doing testing, I'm doing all these things, and I'm not seeing the result, why would I continue? Why would I bother? And I have a podcast from my Real Talk with Tien podcast from season 1 where I asked that very question: why even bother? So that's one of the things that we can do right off the bat in your marketing to really increase your revenue is to increase your price. If it was free before, can you figure out how to make that a paid pattern? If you have a few patterns, can you create bundles? So instead of just selling a one pattern, $5 one pattern, can you sell 4 patterns for $20? Right? That will guarantee, or that will enable you to make more per cart than just selling one pattern at a time. Now you'll be making $16, $20, whatever your bundle is. And that's a great way for you to increase your bottom line in your business. And when we're talking about marketing, let's be real. Marketing for us designers looks like us just posting about our design. It looks like us just showing photos and saying, hey, I have a new pattern, buy it. But that's not really marketing. that's not really me solving a problem, because that's what marketing is. Marketing is you solving a problem, a very specific problem for your specific audience. So before you start thinking about, oh, I'm going to go post on Instagram and talk about this pattern and why I made this pattern. It's a top-down sock. It's a bottom-up sock. Figure out your why. Who is it for? Why would they want it? What's the problem you're solving? And once you do that, then you can generate more revenue, because now you're speaking directly to a problem that your specific audience is facing. And that goes back to, who are you for? Who are you for? You're not for everybody. That's one of the other mistakes in the workbook, in the free training guide. I know it's easy to say, hey, I don't want to exclude anyone. I want to be for everyone. But you really can't be for everyone. Because if you're trying to be for everyone, then your message gets really watered down, right? And I often give this example of what I mean when we're talking about being very focused on who we're for. Like, we live out in the country. My dog, he likes to chase rabbits. He never catches anything, right? So he just loves to chase the rabbits. So he will jump off our deck and he will just bolt. And there's like 5 rabbits and he'll try to chase all 5 of them. And because there's so many rabbits, he's just kind of like, okay, I don't know where to go. There's too many. And I feel like for us as designers and business owners, we get like that, where it's like, there's too many rabbits. I don't know where to go. I'm trying to talk to this one. I'm trying to catch this one. And then we end up getting nothing because there's too many things. So focus in on your ideal audience. Focus in on who you're for. Don't try to be for everybody, because you can't. You cannot serve everyone. And a good example is, if you are only a knitter and you only create knit patterns, you can't talk to everybody, because there's also spinners who crochet that don't knit. So how are you going to connect with those folks? How are you going to connect with crocheters? Of course you can. But if you're really talking about this general fiber thing, instead of specifically talking to knitters, if you're a knitter, then, your message get watered down. It gets confusing. It doesn't really strike a chord with any particular person. So that's why we want to focus in on your specific niche. So we went over 2 of the 6 mistakes. One is not charging enough. Increase your price. Right off the bat, you can double your price, double your income. Increase your price, increase your revenue, create bundles. And then the next thing is trying to talk to everyone, right? So there are 6 mistakes total. I just gave you 2. Grab the workbook or grab the guide, watch the video. It's only 12 minutes long. You can afford 12 minutes. Go watch that. I wanted to just pop in there and talk about, some of those mistakes that I see a lot of designers making. I'm sure you're probably thinking, oh no, I'm not making any. But if you are, give the guide a try. It's free. The video is free. It's only 12 minutes. Watch it. Learn something. Implement it. I don't want you to just watch it and tuck it away somewhere. I want you to actually implement, because that's how you see change. That's how you get results. You have to actually do the thing to make change, right? Susanna, do what she says, people. She knows what she's talking about. Thank you. I really appreciate it, right? I love doing this kind of thing, and I think I'll do more of them if I can. But yeah, I'll drop some links on my Instagram page with the download for the guide and how to get the 12-minute training. So thank you all for showing up. If you have questions, drop me a DM and I can come back and answer specific questions. And if you've gone through the guide and the video training and you still have questions, drop them in a DM and I will get to as many as possible.